Hello. Oh good. My reference is so big. And my phone audio is so on. Shush you. Okay. Hello, yes. I match my reference. I need to make a button that just toggles the reference. Hi! So, today, let me just do a little introduction with my brain fog, so that's cool. I didn't resize my game. I was like, why does it look so bad? I forgot to do that. I usually do it. Okay, it's resized now. Really good start! Okay. So, I, on Instagram, have been posting all of these paintings and stuff, and looking up, like, because I was like, I saw, like, Animal Cross ACNH Community or something. I was like, oh, I wonder what sort of community there still is for this game. It's been a few years since its massive heyday. So I've looked into it a little bit here and there and found a lot of people doing crazy cool things with it. One of the things being a creator named Heart, and I made a command, who as far as I can see, is only on Instagram, has made a really cool, the first thing I saw that got, that I noticed from them was a noir-inspired island, and it's so cool. Like, they made a little trailer for it, and it looks like so moody, and one of the things I really noticed was there are a lot of custom designs that are used to, like, really amplify the moodiness of it. Just used to very great effect. And then I saw a post a little while later that was like, oh, I've made a Discord server for teaching people about how to make their own custom design codes. And so I was like, hey, yeah, I want to join that. So I joined it. I haven't done a lot in there. I haven't been super active because I've been busy. Mostly that. But I've talked to them, like, off and on a little bit, and after posting a few paintings, I got a message that was like, hey, would you like to do a painterly tutorial? Because, like, in sort of their own words, they're like, I mostly do really graphic designs, not so much painterly stuff. And I was like, yeah, that wouldn't be a problem, because since I keep the streams, since I archive them on YouTube, it's really easy for me to go back and pick out individual bits, which is how I make the little process videos that I do. So I figured it'd be really easy to take a bunch of screen caps and make a text format for the Discord as well. But I figured I'd also narrate it a little bit more teacherly to help myself write that later. Which is going to be very funny because the first thing that pops in my head is the number of times I've been like, I want to do this here because of this reason and that reason. It sounds really cool. And then later I go back and I'm like, actually, that was a dog shit bad idea and I won't be doing that. So hopefully with this and the experience of doing the whole thing, I'll be able to go back and curate it so that it's a little bit more trimmed down. So the first thing I do, actually, before you even get into the video game, is I get a reference. Because I'm not doing these for, like, money, like, I'm not selling them on anything, generally, okay, so my background is I am an illustrator. I've been a tax official, let's call it, a freelance illustrator since about 2013, which is when I graduated university. I did not go to school for art, by the way. It just, I finished uni and then I went, hey, some people pay me money sometimes to draw. Should I just do that? And my very supportive family was like, yeah, do that. So I started doing that full time. And I mostly do the very funny joke of, you know, draw the bust of some woman looking 3/4 view to the left on a white background. That was sort of my wheelhouse, as it is many internet artists. And somewhere around 2019, I think it was, I went, okay, I have to get serious about 2019 or 2020. I suppose the timeline does matter when it comes to the release date of Animal Crossing New Horizons. Let me just see. It looks like it was probably 2019. Yeah, I decided I really want to... It's been like 6 years since I decided to be an official artist, and I don't really know how to draw landscapes. I don't really know how to draw anything other than people. So I really want to learn that. So I went on, and you'll have to forgive me, I'll find the references for it later. Because I have files saved to my computer from the website that I went to. It wasn't Schoolism, but it was another site where you can like just download individual lessons. It was really useful though. I found a few lessons by like, you know, oh my god, what is it called? It's not career, industry. Like industry professionals who had taught courses and like, you know, did screen recordings of their paint programs or Photoshop, where they explained sort of how they do landscapes. So I watched a few of those and I followed the little advice they gave, and I started working on landscapes a bit, and I got this sort of rhythm down for how I like to do them. I'm still not great with them, but I'm way more comfortable with them than I had been. So I'm definitely going to look that up and pop that in like the tutorial that I post on Discord, as well as in the YouTube video, so that people can see that, because I don't want to take credit for it. Well, I think it's probably a rather common method, but obviously I didn't bake this up. I had to go and seek it out because I had no idea where to start. So with that, what I do first is I find the reference. I'm not using these. If I were using these for like illustration and sort of my own personal work, I would not copy the things one-to-one. I only copy one-to-one when I'm doing studies that I don't plan on like selling, because then that's kind of like, it's whoever took these photographs, it's kind of theirs. Unless I see somewhere explicitly that they don't mind people doing stuff, I'm never going to assume that somebody is fine with me using their photograph for my art, if I'm going to be doing it one-to-one. So I'll do that for studies, and I do it for Animal Crossing because hey, my playlist is looping in a way I don't want it to. There we go. That's much better. Yeah, so I try not to monetize other people's photography, but here I'm just using it in Animal Crossing. I don't think anyone would mind too much that I did pixel art of their thing and then I put it up in my house in the video game. So that's what I do. So you pick your reference. It's generally better. Let me show some of the I'll go upstairs and sort of show everything I've done so far. Because Animal Crossing gives you only 15 colors that you can work with in any given painting, you want to be careful about let me get rid of the reference. Not picking something with so many colors that you find yourself hurting. You can see like this one here, it feels like it has a lot of depth, but you can see that it's basically oranges and browns. Bit of green, a little bit of like light yellow. This one has probably the most colors, but you can see that there's only really like 2 purples, a lot of yellows and browns. You can see the browns that I used like on the side are also used on the ground. You can see the greenish brown that's in the background is also used on the ground. This one, mostly blues and whites. This one has a lot of colors as well, but most of it is going to be a few colors at a time, like 3 blues, 2 greens. So you don't want to pick something that is bursting at the seams with color and variety and depth, because you're only going to you're going to be able to do something very colorful or something that has a lot of depth. These oranges, for example, are like the most deep. It's the most realistic image, and that's because the browns from the table and the highlights from the oranges are able to be used interchangeably. So I was able to get a lot of depth through not having much. Also, for people who are not maybe super aware, a brown is basically a dark orange, so having brown and orange next to each other works really well. You can see over here the black and white ones. This one was my first one I did upon coming back to doing Animal Crossing paintings, because I did them a lot on my other account. when the game first came out. You can see this black and white one has a lot of depth as well, and that's because I was able to use just the black and white palette that it offers you, and the black and white palette blends itself very well together. So the more you have going on in terms of color, the less it'll be able to blend. The less you have going on, the more it will be able to blend, and you'll have more of that depth. So, oh yeah, same with sort of the pairs over here. You can see that the yellows and the browns work well together. So, pick out yourself a reference that has not too much going on. This one I like because the blues in the sky and the blues in the ocean work well together. The orange in the sky is really a nice touch, as well as it'll probably have some use in the sand as well. And the clouds don't have colors that vary very much from the rest. So I think it'll be able to, my hope is it'll be able to be a really smooth painting. The second thing you want to do is slap a black and white filter on that. Because this is the sort of tip I learned from the courses that I got in 2019, is if you want to start with a landscape, you might want to start black and white. It helps you establish your tones, it helps you establish your foreground and background really well, and getting the black and white, like getting those tones is really, it's really good for blocking out what you want the landscape to be and not getting too caught up in the weeds of it. No pun intended if you're drawing weeds, I guess. It can be really helpful just for figuring out where you're at. And when it comes to the limited palette in Animal Crossing as well, it really helps you to figure out sort of what you have to work with. In some of the sort of the two paintings you can see to the right that have buildings, those can often be very cleanly blocked out very easily, and it gives you a good sense of what you're working with. You'll see in my videos I go back and forth between how much time I spend on black and white and how much time I spend in color, because sometimes if there's a lot of blending, I'm just going to go straight to color. Like with the peaches there's not a lot to block out. There's 3 of them. That's basically all I needed to know in black and white. However, with the building, with the vending machines and the stuff in the background, I'm pretty sure I spent a little longer on that in black and white because there were so many discrete elements to pull together. So I imagine black and white on the painting I have now isn't going to be very long, because I basically need sky, ocean, waves, some clouds. It's not going to be, you can also see that it's a very low contrast image, which you wouldn't think from looking at the other one. That's partly because there's a, I'm going to keep this part a bit short because it can get quite long, but depending on how you use a filter to make an image black and white digitally, you're going to get different results based on how colors have different hue, have different values even if they're at like the same intensity. So you can see that like in the black and white image, the blue of the sky at the very top looks exactly the same, maybe a touch darker than the yellow in sort of the middle. Whereas if you're looking at that in the color one, it feels like the yellow is very, very bright. And I think the reality is that the yellow is very bright, but I don't know the science very well, but I do know that sometimes digitally that doesn't go to black and white accurately. Unfortunately, if you want to use Photoshop, I know how to sort of avoid that problem, which is you create a layer that you fill entirely with black, and then you put that layer above everything else you're looking at. So right above your reference, or what I like to do when I'm painting is right above my entire painting. And for the filter that you apply to that layer, like multiply, screen, darken, lighten, those ones, you want to choose color. And that will give you the most accurate map of how your hues are, how your tones are interacting, so what the contrast really is. That can be really useful. I didn't do that for this. I used my iPhone's automatic filter thing called Mono, as in monochromatic, because it's the closest I can find to that, and it's on my phone, which I use as my reference when I'm painting these. So that's what I did with that. You take it to black and white. And just keep in mind with the whole spiel I just went on now that you might want to go back and forth between your filtered black and white one and the color one, and sort of decide for yourself, how bright is that yellow? How bright do I want it to look in mine? I do not use Photoshop Mobile. I think I have it downloaded, but it's way easier for me to just open up my photos album, hit edit, and go to the black and white one and go, yeah, that's basically good enough. Oh, I have to mute. I have to take a sip. That's so funny. I think Sam uses it too. It's very funny that it's the one thing. Are we about to have a Freya moment? Hold on. I think she's upset that I'm talking so much. Hi, baby. Good girl. You want to go back to your seat? There you go. There's your seat. Yes, and then the third thing you're going to want to do is... Why is it over there? Pop some little crosshairs on it. I also do this using the iPhone's editing feature. It has markup and it has a little ruler, and I literally just eyeball where I think halfway is. Again, if I was using something like Photoshop, there are tools that make it so that you can know the actual definite center, which would sometimes be better. This image is a little tricky because the white at the top sort of makes you feel like there's less in it, so you're more likely to put it too far down. I actually used like a medicine packet to measure this time because I was worried that I wouldn't give enough space to the darker lower half of the image. So however you want to do that, there's probably a million programs that can do a million things, but I do that because let's get in here. Change design. When you go to start messing with it, you get the little crosshairs here. If you have a very busy image, any sort of image at all, it's nice to know roughly where to start putting stuff down. That graph, I use mostly that. I almost hardly use the normal black and white image these days. I'm not really sure why that is. Because when I used to do these, I used to rely on them a lot, but I don't really remember those days super well at this point. Okay. So, once you have all of those set up, I keep the reference over here for the viewers. What I actually do in my real reality is I sit down with my phone, I open up an album that has all of them, and I prop the phone up sort of on my chest because I have to lie down to do these streams. My neck is getting better though. I might start trying to sit up and do art again soon, depending on how my health goes. Yes, so we've got this far. You'll probably have the white with all of the orange dotted lines. Don't worry about any of that, because what the first thing we're going to do is apparently exit. The first thing we're going to do is change the palette. And we're going to start with the monochrome black and white one. This is good for setting up your painting, as well as having a lot of colors that are easy to choose between and not have to reset any of them from the start. So it really helps because all these other palettes, like, you could try laying something down with this, but I feel like I personally would get a little bit confused. I just like having everything set out in a nice little line. And it helps for organization of your colors as well, because that makes a big difference when you're using the left and right buttons to go back and forth between things. So, this painting is actually not very bright. The black and white that I'm looking at here, yeah, I'd say it starts at like, I'm gonna choose this gray. The sky, I would say, is probably gonna take up these, the lighter parts of the sky is probably gonna take up these 3 bits here. But I would say that the average tone of the waves in particular, which make up sort of most of the image that I think is going to need a lot of messing with, seems to be this sort of tone. Then, oh, also, I may have to be right back in a little bit. I think my partner might be coming home soon. And I do like to greet them after a busy day. Oh my god, that's them. I'm gonna quickly be right back. All right. Oh, I forgot to take it off the thing. Sorry about that. I do like saying greeting my partner when they come home from the treacherous, cold UK wilds. Okay. Yes, so you set whatever your background is that you think sort of is your main color. Sometimes I do it the color of, you know, whatever's the furthest back. Sometimes it's easy to work from background to foreground because you can, you know, more easily go over stuff than you can go behind stuff sometimes. But there's not really there's not much of fore or background here. There's pretty much just the ocean and the sky. So we've got that. Then I'm going to start by placing my horizon line down, which, looking at I'm going to say it's about 3 down. Looking at my reference. I've picked a nice dark color because I feel like that's probably the darkest it gets, honestly. In which case I might choose an even darker one. Mostly because, not because it's actually this dark, but because if you look at whatever your darkest color is in the whole picture, it gives you a better idea of, you're going to be changing all of these colors eventually, basically. So if you make it this color, you might find that later you have a bunch of lighter colors down here, and it's a bit harder to swap between them. So even though it's not actually this dark, I'm going to put it as, I try to leave the very, very darkest one empty. I don't know what instinct drives me to do that. So since it's the ocean, it's a nice, simple one. Just a very, very, very flat horizon. I'm also going to put an extra line. And then what I'm going to do next is turn off the symmetry there. I'm going to try and figure out sort of what this coast looks like. So I'm looking at my lower left quadrant that I've put together here. And where the wave just ends off on the beach is a little lower down than halfway. So halfway is about here. So I'm going to say I want it to start about there. And it goes till about there. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. That's just a rough layout. It's not really a straight line. So we can go in, and you're going to want to use this all the time if you're doing a painterly style. It's the L+R for the eyedropper tool. So much easier than going back and forth to whichever color you want. Just find the color you want, eyedrop it, and get back to work. That's something I do constantly when I'm actually doing my illustration work. And these waves have a little bit of back and forth to them. Oh, hi there! Really cute. Thank you so much for the very cute emoji. Is that like a little Kirby? No, it's a little creature with a heart. Who is that? I want to see. Love sign. Thank you for love sign and for... I have to zoom. The hype, the glow stick hype is very, very cute. Oh, thank you for the follow as well. I really appreciate that. Just gonna read this comment out loud. I find that it's nice for listening. It's interesting to me how this game actually forces different rules upon an artist than traditional pixel art, since you have to work with the limited depixelizer. Yes, that is definitely the most interesting part of the Animal Crossing custom design thing to me. I'll be always, in all my videos, you'll hear me talking about, in all my streams, about how the algorithm is doing X or Y to me. Yeah, you can't really use the lessons you would normally use for pixel art with this. So like, that kind of creates that shape. And when I made that shape there, I was actually looking more at the canvas here than I was looking at the canvas I'm drawing on. I can also have a quick look and see what would this look like if I did it like that. That's a bit too sharp. When it's sharper on this end, it creates poor perspective. You want the sharper ends to be the ones that are furthest away from the camera, you the viewer. So this is kind of creating that sharper thing up here and making it look a little smoother on this side. Creates that good sense of perspective where things that are curving towards you look wider than things that are curving away from you. Or you can just go, it looks better. And that's also a perfectly reasonable way to understand what the image is doing. However, I don't like how big this is. It's a nice shape, but it sacrifices a bit of... See, and you see me going back and forth, and now maybe I just like this. Because another thing that you want to worry about with perspective, especially when you only have 32 by 32 pixels to work with, is that detail happens closer. So things that are further away are going to, even if you can see like really clear detail, actually let me save this, I have an example I can show you. This segment brought to you by, I have a Patreon, where I have a Discord server linked to it, that in the past has been used entirely for my illustration stuff, and recently I've been using a lot for this stuff because this is as close to illustration as I can get with my health problems at the moment. And I offer people the chance to help me name my paintings. And I liked Cerulean for this beach one. I thought it was really lovely. So, I'm going to actually show you this up close. This was one of the hardest ones I did. And you can see that, you know, it's a street where there are buildings in the background as well. And there was a lot of detail in this. You could see like a car, you could see a little, like, oh, there was so much detail. There was like a little brick wall, there was a few buildings. You can see that there's this orange back here is kind of like a high-rise building in the distance. There was several times more power lines than I ended up using. If you go back on my YouTube channel, you can see the VOD of this, and it was heavily detailed. And I actually had to pull it all back because it looked busy, sloppy. It was too much. It was way, way, way too much. And I had to sacrifice a lot of things. These 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green pixels here were supposed to be a little shrub. There's only a few places you can see that bright green pop through where I thought the greenery should be showing. There was like a whole tree here, and you just have to give that stuff up because readability is ultimately more important to your Animal Crossing pixel art than accuracy. So you can see that has the sense of a lot of stuff going on in the background without a lot of stuff actually going on. Of course, I don't have it up. So, the further things go into the background, the more you're going to want to give up on the details you see in your reference. The wave has a little curve that goes in and out and stuff. Maybe it doesn't if it's far enough in the background. I see one sort of major curve that I like here, and it's the general shape. Going out enough that it curves back in by the time it gets to the lower right. So I kind of want it to have... We're going to figure out how to make that look right. Getting there. Do I want another one? No, see. You can see when I do that, that's very smooth on the canvas. When I do this, it becomes very jagged, which I don't like so much right now, but I might like later. I'm going to be going into this tutorializing type stream, saying a lot of stuff very, very confidently, and then changing my mind, whether it be 3 seconds later or 30 minutes. I'm going to be like, yeah, you definitely want to do this and not the other thing. And then I'm going to go, the other thing was actually quite good. Which I hope you'll take not as me self-deprecating, but as permission to not know what you're doing. You're not going to know what you like until you see it. So take as much time to mess around and get exactly what you want and give yourself permission to make mistakes. I'm going to leave it at this for right now. Hello, Mailman Joe. You have a package. So is this sort of like a I have to come sign for it at the door, or will you just leave it on the porch situation? Because sometimes when people come to the door with a package, I just let them leave it on the porch. We're gonna leave it like that. Because there's a lot of details happening sort of in the shore here. In the waves going up. I don't know why I did that. For example, I'm gonna get rid of this now, because I think it's gonna mess me up later. And then we have some bits of clouds. I'm honestly not too worried about those at the moment. Well, thank you, Mailman Joe. That's very kind of you. How are you today? Now, as I was saying, the clouds are a bit darker. I would say the clouds are a touch darker. I'm actually going to go back to the color. So when I look at the color, I can see that the waves down here are very bright. However, this photo was possibly edited in post. The waves came out very, very bright. And the clouds have come out a bit desaturated, comparatively. It actually looks like there's going to be a lot of barely different from each other blues happening in the ocean segment of the painting. I'm doing alright. Doing sort of a tutorial style of this has me very... I'm very parched. I have enough water for another sip. But it's fun. I hope I'm not doing... I hope it's not too difficult to follow what I'm saying at any given point. Oh, okay. Had that sip of water that I needed. I actually am going to move the ocean up at least 1 pixel. Because looking at the color version, I'm seeing how much detail there is in there. And as much as you sometimes need to leave detail behind, I think the detail of the ocean is going to sell a lot for the painting. In Animal Crossing specifically, I think it's going to be, because there's going to be so many different shades of blue, I want as much room to use all of those as I can get. Whereas there doesn't need to be as much going on up top. There's probably going to be some dithering. Okay, I'm going to block in the clouds in a darker color. Maybe this. Go a little bit darker than I think I need to. Pulling up my little crosshairs again. So I can see that some of these clouds kind of dip below here. But for the most part, there's sort of a straight line going across. I'm going to fill that in. I haven't filled in the ocean because there's not a lot of this dark color in it, mostly just at the horizon. Then you just create little peaks and valleys here and there. Again, this is something you're going to come back and mess with later a lot. Not that many peaks and valleys. They are still clouds after all. And so you need like lots of big sections for them. And then it does get lighter over here, but we'll deal with that when we deal with it. That's going to be a problem for the colors to contend with, because the way the algorithm for the paintings work in Animal Crossing New Horizons, the pixels on the canvas will interact with each other slightly differently depending on the hue, vividness, and brightness all put together. They all make a difference. Okay, so we've got a nice big chunky cloud up here. Just gonna fill that in entirely. Oh, I've just created a strange little box over here. I don't want that so much. I do like that this cloud kind of goes down a bit and then up again. Maybe like that. Yeah. That's good enough for now. We've got like a touch of cloud just there. Actually, I've made this a little bit bigger than it is in the reference. There are times where you're going to want to sacrifice detail and times where you're going to want to make stuff bigger than it actually is. Because if I made this smaller, it might not sell the impression of cloud as well as it does taking more pixels. And because there's not really anything else going on in the sky, I would rather spend more pixels getting the viewer to see, oh, that is a cloud. That looks cloud-like to me. There's a lot of balancing of, if you have just like one or two shapes that feel really cloud-like, you can get away with putting just 2 pixels in a line. And because there's a big example of cloud right next to it, people's brains are going to fill in, yeah, those 2 pixels there are also cloud, because sometimes clouds are just little wispy bits in the sky. So that's sort of my personal wisdom on how you want to block this stuff out. Something else I might be doing is leaving the clouds with the bottoms flat when they aren't. This cloud that's up here actually sort of does this kind of thing. But people read a flat bottom with a curved top as cloud. That's a cloud. A cloud is a creature that looks like this, you know? There we go. That's a creature you can call cloud. You start getting different little ideas for it. That's a creature you can call cloud strife. And is it right to do it? You'll never know. One thing to be careful of is sometimes triangle shapes just sort of look like triangles. You can see in the canvas over here, it's become very, very sharp. Whereas if you're just looking at it on the canvas, it doesn't look much sharper than, say, this down here. If you want it to look round, you have to force another pixel in there. Otherwise, the smoothing algorithm says, that is a triangle, that is a sharp object, you want it to look sharp, I'm going to make the line look sharp for you. Mixed blessing and curse. Sometimes you need that. Other times you do not want it. Also, sometimes that roundness or sharpness can be fixed up later by picking nearby colors. For example, this sharp. That's a nice sharp thing, but what if we add that to either side? Well, it becomes weird looking. Yeah, if we add that, it softens it up, doesn't it? As opposed to that's quite sharp. So I'm getting a little bit over my head on this already at this stage because I'm having fun. But just rest assured, you don't necessarily have to go this much into detail. And if you see something that you can't get to work, just block in what you can and move on for the moment. Because it might be something that you fix up later. Do I like how this cloud looks over here? You know what? No, I don't think I do. Because take a nice zoom out moment. My mother is an artist who paints with oil paints. So I grew up with canvases around the house, her just sitting on the floor painting away. And something she would always do that I found so funny was she would just be sitting there, and then she would take the canvas and frisbee it across the room on the just across the floor. Not like in the air. That would be very funny. But no, just kind of skid it across the ground. And then she'd look at it for a while. Because if you stay too zoomed in, you forget what the literal big picture. You forget the literal big picture of the metaphor, famous of metaphors. So what I actually do is I throw up my phone. No, I don't do that. I put my phone on the ground a little bit away from me, and I squint at it. And I go, okay, and then I squint at the canvas, especially that upper left really, really tiny one that they have that I almost never look at in this game for some reason. And compare them. So this cloud in the middle is much higher than it is in the actual. And it's bigger to a degree that I think it sells itself more as a big fluffy Ghibli cloud than it does as sort of a gentle sunset cloud. So I'm going to cut that down for right now. Because the flow of this composition is kind of like a little crescent, where it's a little bit higher, like a shallow crescent, a little bit higher at the edges and a little bit further down, where the white space is kind of being created there. So going up this high or so, creating this sort of idea. Maybe go over here and make this a bit bigger. Just move all these up 1 pixel. I'm gonna have to, usually 2 pixels of the same color at a corner like this would be connected. The algorithm has decided not to do that this time, but it may decide to do it later. So I'm gonna, oh, it's kind of done it there. Yeah, you can see it has like a little tail curving up now. I don't like that. Getting rid of that. I don't want to create like a strange little isolated cube again. That was weird. I'm going to add a little... Sometimes if you want to break something up, one of my favorite tricks in Animal Crossing is to do 2 pixels, a space, 1 pixel. You can use it for waves, like ripples in water. You can use it for shine on a glass surface. Oh, hello, Fuji Bread. Thank you for the follow. I really appreciate that. Right now it kind of looks like a boat in the distance that's about to sell you something. I'm going to leave this in the I will deal with it when I get to colors camp. I don't know how to contend with this at the moment. So I'll deal with that later. In fact, I'm just going to do that for now. And I think that's created the sort of composition I want, at least. Maybe bring something over here. We'll fill the space. We'll fill the space as time goes on. And there's also a little cloud up here. I want it to be level with it, actually. Now see, I have these like 3 pixels, 2 pixels, 2 pixels. That's more symmetry than nature wants. Nature does not want to be that symmetrical. So I added an extra pixel and then 1 next to it. That makes it kind of look like, if you put 1 pixel between a straight line and something, it kind of makes that look, it creates the illusion that it is 1 line, even though it has a break. So that helps right there. And then maybe like that. I'll leave it like that for right now. And when it comes to the waves down here, I am hesitant to mess with it until I've put color down. So that's what we're going to do from right now. And actually, I'm going to take another break because I have to get some water. I am talking way more than I usually do on stream, but my mouth is so dry. So I'm going to be right back. My music has also paused, which I did not realize. All right, I'll leave you with those tunes, and I'll just be a few minutes. Hello. Okay, I am back. I have refilled my water. I'm putting my hair back up because it's hurting my head where it's pressing against a cushion. And I've done some eye drops because I have chronic dry eyes, and it's very important to make sure my eyes don't get dry when I'm doing my art. Okay. So, I'm going to move to color now. You might think that I would want to block out more of the ocean than I have, but because the colors are... This is going to end up being a... Every pixel sort of gets its own sort of placement. What I am going to do, though, is go a couple colors lighter and fill it so that I have... Yeah, I'm going to do that. And I'm going to fill this. Let's see. That lighter bit is here-ish. I'm just going to fill that as well, so I can place the colors. Okay. So, I do not know what this song is. That's funny. Okay, so the sky is what we're doing first. And this painting was for a prompt of doing a turquoise painting. Oh, would you look at that? That's the color of the sand. Do you love the... Got him! It's actually quite a bit more blue than I expected. I'm sort of going off of the darkest blue in the very upper left. Let's see. I'm gonna say it's that blue. And then we're gonna need... Since I chose the darkest blue for that, I'm gonna go one down. Fill that in there. You know what? I'm gonna go another one down, actually. Unless... What are these? Ooh. Okay, so I can use this for the sand. And that is... I'm gonna zoom in on my reference. Because I'm gonna say that's a very kind of true gray, but maybe a bit green. That's gonna be my guess on it. No, I hate that. Very muted yellows will often look like green. But it's not much different than just a gray. To give it sort of, instead of going closer to blue this way, I'm trying to go closer to blue by going past red first. Because in my brain, the sand should look sandy, which is sort of an orange color. If I put it this way, it's gonna look funny next to the green, so I'm going more red and more gray to try and hit a blue cast sand. Don't know if that makes sense. Let's go for this color. Okay, this is... Let's send that vividness skyrocketing. And then we're gonna have... maybe that. Yeah, that seems about right. Ooh, or do I like... no, I'm gonna go with this. If it were this kind of blue, I would make it less vivid. Because taking the blue vividness down makes it a bit more green. Is it that color? I'm gonna say it's this color. Nice and dark. Let's mess with this for a second, because it's bothering me a little. Yellow. A bit that. We're gonna want that brightness to be way, way up. I'm gonna do that for that right now. All of these clouds are currently the same color, which you can tell is certainly not true. You know what? Especially because I feel like these clouds down here are a bit that. Well, I'm wrong. That's very funny. Okay. Pop that back in there. Okay, okay. After looking at it for a second, we don't want that vividness to be too high. We do want it to be a bit light. I do want it to be a bit more vivid. You can get, like, see how this is dark, but I'm like, I want it to be a bit more vivid. Well, you can get it lighter, and then that's too similar, but then I tick the vividness up one, and it appears to get darker as well, doesn't it? So that's something to keep in mind. If you're not getting quite the color you want, making it brighter doesn't necessarily mean it's going to stay light. Like, look how dark that gets. That's sort of what I was talking about when I was talking about, like, how computers will get the tone wrong when it changes to black and white. I could put the brightness really high, but if the vividness goes down, it becomes so much, all it's doing is becoming lighter and darker, it feels like, even though this is the vividness, not the brightness thing. So that is definitely something to keep in mind. Feel free to go back and forth with those two sliders a lot to see if you can get the color you're looking for. No, there's going to be room for that later, but for right now, I think I want it to stay there. And the ocean is where we get most of the turquoise. I think my playlist is looping again. Let me just go fix that. I do love this song, but there we go. As much as I want there to be so much green in this turquoise, this cerulean. Okay, this is good, this is good. I think that's where I want to keep that for right now. I'm trying to sort of look at the most vivid pockets of blue I can see in the ocean. And then for the shadow, going up on the shore. Now that I've put the ocean in there, this feels much too red. I do wonder if I need to go at it from the other side, or is it just a very true gray? It seems to be just a very true gray. Because color is relative, you'll find that in any given painting you're doing, gray is going to look like a different color to you. Is it going to look sandy? Is it going to look... just because it's a neutral, it can have a lot of applicability. But I wouldn't necessarily say, oh, this is a tricky one. I don't want that to stay a true gray, though. Let's make it like, let's just put it like that for now. That's easy. Okay. Might make this brighter. So there's the beginnings of color laid down. We don't have too much going on. And here's something I do if I'm worried, because I am worried because a lot of these, you can tell what you haven't used based on what is gray. Unfortunately, this is gray, so I'm gonna take every other color and make it a really kind of grossly bright color, so I can always have a good sense of what I have and haven't used yet. I know I haven't used the lightest white, so I'm not going to worry about that. Since there's no red in my painting, seeing these up here will mean, oh, I haven't used that yet. Yeah, I was worried that I would miss that one, and I almost did. That one's also not used. And this one as well. I have a feeling I'll forget that next to the really dark. Okay. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 colors I haven't used yet. That's pretty good going. Now where do I want to start this? Okay. I'm going to start here, using this color as the color I want for the white foam of the waves. Zooming in on that, trying to get a sense of what that color might be. It helps to zoom in on stuff because you can see it sort of not next to the other colors, and it gives you a better sense of what that color looks like. Another trick you can do is you can eyedrop the color and put it down on like over some white, and that'll give you a sense of what the color is. Let's see. I'm just gonna literally do that using Instagram. I've done this like at work before as well. You can do the draw tool, you can get white, scribble it down, and then use the eyedropper on the color you want in the photo. I want that. And put it in the middle. Yeah, okay. It's basically what I've got. But I wanted sort of a more... And let's see how this looks actually put down on the canvas. Zoom out. Come in, and let's try and match. Okay, it's not bright enough. I'll tell you that from just a second of looking at it. I'm gonna go back to my black and white that has sort of the crosshairs on it and get a sense of how far down. Yeah, that seems about right. Another thing to know about Animal Crossing, doing pixel art with 32 by 32 pixels, is your perspective's never going to be perfect. And it's best to just go with what looks right. Perspective is a beast where, when I'm illustrating, sometimes what looks right isn't what's right. You have to sort of give that up when you're working with a really, really small canvas. It's much more important that people believe they see something correct than you actually drawing something correctly. You can see that I'm focusing on that sort of lifted back wave. I'm trying to give it a sense of, I'm trying to focus on that. There's not a lot of definition in this painting, but that is a pretty clear landmark, and it's really the only one there. It's centered, so it has a really good, it serves good compositional function. And I do like that it kind of has that, it comes up a bit and then goes back down. Oh, apologies if you hear any clearings of throat from myself or my partner. We're all well and everything. No need to worry about that. I'm gonna stick with that for right now. I have a feeling it's gonna change a bit. I'm actually gonna... There's also sort of a second wave back here you can see. Probably reserve a few pixels here and there for making that clearer. Okay. If I'm able to keep this sort of line here, which there's no guarantee, it's probably going to look something like that. Let's fill in this up here. Oh, yeah. I've somehow done the complete opposite of what it looks like, which is quite funny. Let's just erase that for now. Let's have it go up a bit. And then maybe just down on like the last pixel or something? No. Again, because the perspective is sort of at odds with the... Like, do we want it to be like that? No. That doesn't have the air of it. That seems a bit better. I'm definitely liking the feeling of drawing over it rather than carving it out, so I'm gonna go for that again. Let's see. This wave seems a bit small now. And also, there's a significant layer of foam that has to go ahead of it. So having done this, I'm gonna sort of tackle it again. This is not an easy shape to carve out, though. It's hard to... because you're combining all these different elements, the perspective, the nature of the wave itself, which is creating a sort of natural shape that is recognizable to people. Don't have a lot of pixels to do that with. It's not necessarily going up and over, it's sort of going up and back. So this is the sort of thing where you just mess with it until you get something that you can say like, okay, that's the shape I want people to see in this. And it may get a bit easier if I do things like... That might be the best I can do right now. The rest might simply follow. Let's see. This wave is kind of coming out here. And then going back? Maybe? Good enough for now. Okay, let's go back to the color version. This white continues into the background, actually. So we're gonna keep putting that in. I'm probably gonna tackle this pixel by pixel in a second. Because when you get back this far, you know, there's just... Oh yeah, and there we go. Where you can see I'm about to put this pixel on the canvas. I want it to just sort of continue as a line and not connect to this pixel down here, but no, it wants to connect. It wants to create a little V shape, and we don't want that V shape, because I'm trying to create horizontal lines. The further stuff gets in the background. This goes for like, I've done, let me just show you, flowers in a field, for example. I think I have that one up here, yeah. If you're trying to create the sensation of something just going back in space, a lot of horizontal lines are really good for that. You can see that with those flowers there. Just a lot of horizontal lines and a lot of dots. Same thing I did with the road here. There's light being cast from this side, and I wanted it to just look like it was going across. Horizontal lines, great for that. Sitting back down. All right, so that's what I'm setting up anyway. Do not know what will change, and I don't like this color very much. It's not bright enough, but it's also think I want to make it more blue. That way I can make it more vivid without it getting lighter. Because that's too light. If you squint sort of at the reference, you can see that the waves, even though they're white, they don't get brighter than that yellow in the sky. So if I do this, they kind of start looking like they're getting close to that, and I don't want that. But if I do this, it gets brighter without getting... like, it gets brighter and darker. I think this is good. I like that for the white. Okay. Whew. This is going to be an interesting one. Okay, I'm going to start going in with darker, sort of cerulean colors. Okay, so I want this to be darker than what's already placed down, but lighter than the furthest color back there. Okay, that's too dark. And as often as possible, I try and make the colors sort of as exactly in between as I can. Because you get a bit more mileage out of them that way, because they'll blend better with the dark and with the light. Like if it was too close to the dark, I would need another color to blend with the white, the lighter blue. That's too light. I don't like that. I'm gonna go with that. And I'm just putting in a little bit of texture. I just got an ad from a pop-up notification on my phone from an app I didn't know I had. So that's fun. Okay. Now you can see I've gone in with irregular. Again, nature does not generally... Nature reserves symmetry for very specific purposes. So you're going to see symmetry in plants, you're going to see symmetry in animals, and you're not going to see symmetry in things like water, sky, dirt on the ground. You won't see symmetry in wood. You'll see consistency and pattern, but you won't necessarily see a lot of symmetry. So I have a few sections of 3 pixels, 4 pixels, 1 pixel. The more broken up it is, the more it gives the sense of, there's chaos roiling back there. That is the wild and free ocean. Okay. Oh, the phone went to sleep. Okay. And I do want a color that is halfway in between these two? Or do I want a color that's... You know what? I want this, but a little bit lighter. And I have a suspicion that the color I use for the sky... You know what? I don't like how blue the sky is. Me going out and deciding to be a hater that particular day. I don't like how blue the sky is. So you can see I've done this. How close is that to this color, though? Close enough that I might be able to use it as the white of the foam. That's a fun trick. Depending on your reference, often colors you use in the sky can be used elsewhere because the sky is a light source. I always thought of it as, I learned this from a book I got. It's a very, very popular, it's like Color and Light or something. I did make that joke earlier, Rose. I said it about the sand, though. A new twist on an old favorite. But yeah, I didn't know that you could actually consider it true that the sky itself, not just the sun, but the actual sky, is a light source. So if you have blue sky, you're going to get blue highlights on things. Orange sky, orange highlights. So a lot of times in these, if you have a sky present, you might be able to use that color elsewhere. So using this blue as the white wider part of these waves is going to work really nicely. And since that's true in real life, our eyes are going to love to see it in a landscape. Again, there is actually just pretty solidly, like if I squint, there's just a solid mass of white waves here. But I'm gonna sort of pepper these pixels in instead and decide later if I want to fill that in. And these waves actually pretty much come down in a... What's interesting is you can see like a... Ooh, that's an interesting problem. I wonder if those are dots or... You can see it's created a little chevron here. Anywhere where you have this arrangement of pixels, it's going to try and make it an arrow, a corner. It loves to do that. What I'm trying to do is getting it to do that with the white pixels instead. Like, I want it to create some diagonal white lines for me. And instead I'm getting, let's have a look at this close up. It really doesn't want to do that with this color. It's creating dots instead. I've never seen it so reluctant to create lines. It generally really likes to make a line anywhere you can imagine it would be possible. Oh, it's coming out okay actually though, for everything we have so far. This is a good way to zoom in on that canvas look. Yeah, you can see that like it's created like 3 dots instead of creating a line. I think it's because the white isn't... This will be easier to explain if I do it. I'm liking how it's coming out though. From a distance it looks very serene, which is what I wanted. Yeah, like if I were to do this, it might be... it's not giving it to me. I've never seen this behavior. This is so funny. It's so polka dotted. I would love to know what the math the computer is doing has created that, because it is generally very, very happy to create a line, a diagonal line if you put... See, it's kind of done it there. There we go, like that. It loves to do that usually. Maybe it prioritizes dark over light because it just thinks that that's what you're gonna do. Ah, the second I put that, you can see diagonal line's going great. I put that last pixel, it changed something. It changed something. Which is interesting because actually the peak of these waves is up top. So if I am creating a wave, I want it to be kind of like that. I don't like that though. So we're gonna have to work with it, not against it. That's okay. I'm probably gonna need even another color to go in between. And I'm willing to do that with the ocean here. I forgot my rule that the red is the one I use, not this gray that I thought was it. Okay, here we are. Luckily, it's generally very easy to tell when you start editing the wrong color, and you can just hit B and it becomes a non-issue. Maybe make this a light but very bright color. I think that's gonna give me what I want. A touch darker. Have a good meeting, Rose. Let's mess with this a bit. I like that. Okay, that gives us a few more options for. Let me just put this right down next to it. No, slightly too close. Oh, hello, Yamapan. I didn't see you there. Konbanwa. Kyo, genki? Oh, that's good. I have not been very good at studying lately. I've been studying the arts. I'm trying to get this color to be just what I want. I think I like that. I think that's what I'm going to go with. So I can create sort of a gradient going up. Ah, comment. Okie doke. Comment. My phone is sitting in a very precarious position relative to the computer, which have the microphone. Okay, I think this is gonna work. This blue is very barely different, but up here we have so many different... The ocean waves have so much texture to them that I think it's worth it to spend some of that on this. You know, I kind of wish this was just a touch more blue. Oh my god, that's so much more blue. The way I'm gonna try and fix that is by making it... No, that's not gonna do it. I don't want to change that. Change my mind. Ah! Maybe I'll make it lighter and less vivid? No, that takes it brighter as well. So maybe just less vivid. That makes it look kind of green. I don't want it to look green. Yeah, just undo. Sometimes you must simply accept what it says. I'm filling in some of these spaces up top that I had before with this just a touch lighter color. That gives it a little bit of texture. I don't like that there. And you're gonna see a lot of this comes down to just, you know, do I like that color in that spot? When I'm doing individual pixel changes like this, I am just looking at this canvas over here. I'm not looking at anything else. And even though it's not really expressed strongly in the reference, I'm going to put a big effort into outlining this wave with the white foam. Because I personally think that meets people's expectations of what a wave is and does, if that makes sense. And there's actually like a really, really bright green in there, but I don't know if I can afford it. Right now, I might... let's put some of this on the next to the sand and see if it still reads as green or white. Why did I say green? Yeah, I'm still getting green. Return of. I'm getting white out of this still, which is good. I'm also getting that this shadow is way too dark. And sometimes, for these Animal Crossing ones, you'll see a very dark color, but in your reference it's a very, very thin line. And the best way to reconcile that is to actually make it a lighter color. It will read as a thinner line, even though it takes up the same amount of space. I don't know why that is. I wish I had a cool, I know the science behind this explanation for that, but I don't. There we go. And it definitely reads as shallower. I'm definitely going to want to have one spot open for a little bit of lighter sand. I'm having a lot of difficulty knowing if I'm going to have the opportunity for that, though, to be perfectly honest. Now, I might be able to get some of these clouds up here darker using some of this blue from the waves. That's too much. That's nothing. No, I might be able to use just a bit of this dark. No, it's too dark. Tisk tisk. I would have liked that. What happens if I make this darker? I see, we don't want that. In fact, I believe we do not want to alter that in any way. That is a color I've picked very carefully. But I think we're getting most of our ocean colors sorted. I just haven't done a lot of work with the palette. I'm gonna vote for this to be the orange that we see in the sky. Yeah, I think that's a great orange. Though it doesn't blend very well with the yellow. I think we're gonna need to change both colors. I think we're gonna have to make this a little less intense and this a little more intense. And we might be able to use this color to... I thought it was lighter than it was. This may be perhaps where we need our best friend, the brightest white, to be an in-between. A nice, bright bluish color. That is way too bright. But if I do that, let's see, how does that look down here? Okay, that's good. Can we give it up for the original Animal Crossing theme? I love this song. Just to be able to play it on piano. Okay. And I've put a solid line here. And I'm gonna do a bit of dithering. Now, I'm probably going to go back and change a bunch of this later, but... Oop, that made a little X. Don't know if I like that. I got rid of the X, but it created a... See, it loves making diagonal lines. I wasn't kidding. It's obsessed with it. And there, it's made my little arrow, my little chevron. My little chevron. We'll keep this like this for now. That's too symmetrical. Symmetrical. This will take a little bit of back and forth. And we're going to want this in there as well, actually. I want to get the yellow in on the dithering, because I want this to look like a smooth gradient. And sometimes the dithering helps with that. Gonna have some issues with these clouds. Is this color only being used for clouds at the moment? Yes, it is. Okay. That's good. Because I don't like it. And that's a good thing. I want to make it a little less this, and then that. I want it to blend really nicely with that orange eventually, though. And I'm gonna use one of these colors to try and get that blend. I'm gonna say it looks a little bit purpley. Let's see. Good example is over here. We actually, whatever I was on about when I drew these clouds, I'm over it. I want this cloud with the orange to be the star of my show. In black and white, I thought this cloud was boring and bad. With color, I realized the cloud is good and that I want it very much. And I do not want that to be more that. I want it to be more this. Ooh. Ooh. Why oughta order for chevron? I don't know how long ago you said that. I've been lost in the magic of creation. This blue of the clouds, I'm looking specifically at the horizon. I guess it's kind of like that. I'm also going to just mute while I readjust the way I'm sitting. Okay, I'm now lying down in the most insane way imaginable, but I have lost my phone. Hold on a minute. Okay. Yeah, it's not the best idea I've ever had in my life, but it's the only one I have right now. Because I was really tempted to sit forward, which is the worst thing I could do for my neck. For those of you new to the show, I have a chronic neck stiffness problem that's been giving me crazy migraines for ages now. Surely this color isn't that different from what I've used down here. Oh, it's only like... Can I get away with... It would free up an entire color spot for me. So I think I will. Oh yeah, I've done everything. I'm seeing a doctor for it now finally. It mostly just means I have to heat and ice it, stretch it very, very, very gently, because I did try stretching it. The doctor was like, hey, try these stretches, they might help, and they made it worse. So the doctor I'm seeing now, yeah, I'm doing all the things. I have had chronic problems with my neck since I was in my, like, teens. That started getting treatment when I was in my early 20s. So I'm really familiar with this. It just means that I have to do very silly things. Lie down on the floor all weird and... Oh, yeah. That's rough. I know people who've had that. That's a rough one as well. You know what you're talking about then. You know your stuff. That feeling when somebody else is like, no, I know the pain. And you're like, ah, yes, you do know the pain. Okay, that's freed up a whole other color for me. And I forgot which color it is, so we're gonna have to do, woo! Okay, that's the one I'm not using. Oh, that's great. Yeah, hopefully I'll be able to find something for myself soon. My neck's doing way better than it was doing a few weeks ago. So I think I've got the right doctor giving me the right stretches. I'm getting treatments, and I'm eventually going to be getting migraine treatment as well, so things are looking up for me a bit. Usually my plan when I started a Twitch account was to just stream, like, illustration work, not Animal Crossing pixel art. But in 2020, when I got the game, I just out of nowhere decided, hey, I'm gonna start doing this with Animal Crossing. I started making these landscapes, and it was so fun, and it gives me good landscape practice, even though, you know, it's so different. It's really nice to be able to still make art, even though I'm not able to make the art I'm used to making. I think I like this kind of gray, this gray pink color for sort of an in-between of the... Yeah, exactly. Now do I want this to go in there? Or do I want to take up one pixel down there? I'm gonna risk it. I'm gonna risk it all. Oop. That created a little arrow, but I don't know if it's one that I'm upset about. So now I'm talking less and just sort of doing what I feel more. And again, I am looking entirely at the little Animal Crossing portrait for the most part. When it gets to this stage, it's really just like feeling it out. Like, do I like how that looks? Well, maybe I would if it was darker. If it's darker, maybe I want it to be less vivid so it doesn't clash as much with the blue. I like that color as well. I might even like it more, etc., etc. Maybe I'll even make all of this. I'm very zoomed in on the image right now, so I'm going to zoom out. Oh, I was so zoomed in. It's a good thing to zoom out. If that's the one tip I can relay as an artist to anyone watching, zoom out more often. I've known artists who do art, like, either they do it as a rule or they just do challenges for themselves sometimes where they're like, I'm going to do art without zooming in even once. For digital art, of course. And it does sometimes make a difference. I've not done that challenge. I'm not that strong, but and those zigzags can be a little bit, they can stand out in a way that's not necessarily positive, but I also think that it doesn't look bad. And note, we still have 2 colors we haven't used. So for this amount of progress, I'm feeling pretty good about that. We might still be able to use like a darker... Is that too dark? We might be able to get away with using that blue. I just didn't want to run out of hues. I didn't want to get so carried away in doing the waves that I ran out of things to make the sky look good. There's going to be a lot of work needed to do with the sky. Now, how is this orange looking? Okay, not bad. What I'm going to do is start dithering the yellow up here a bit more. And that'll give the cloud a nice little outline. And can I use this to sort of shade the sky? There's not going to be much in the way of shading. There's only so many pixels. That 1 pixel there, you can see it kind of, rather than being a dot, it tries to sort of match the curve there, which is good. I want that effect. It's almost smaller than a whole pixel. Because the shadows of the clouds are all on this side, I'm trying to just put the pixels of the darker color I want on that side. Like that. I might even bring a little bit of orange down here, just to give it some texture. I didn't like the way the texture looked that much. Again, it took away from the platonic ideal of a cloud. And we might even add a little bit of yellow in here, just to, again, brighten it up. I think I want the yellow to be more vivid. Not that vivid. Just one square more vivid. I'm gonna have a little look at this from afar as well. I'm gonna do my mother's equivalent of skimming the canvas like a stone across a pond. Okay. I don't think the dithering I've done for the light blue in the sky, and sort of like the top left, is working. It kind of looks like it's snowing like it is outside in the game. Not sure what I'm gonna do about that. That's gonna be a problem for later me. Now I think I want to dive back into working on the waves again. I'm jumping around a lot in this one. Ooh, I do want to check one thing. Ooh, no, that's not correct for that. Can I use this up here at all? Ooh, I might be able to. They're very similar, actually. Hold on. If they're that similar, can I do this? No, I cannot. No. Wait, where is this color? Hello? Am I using 2? Oh my goodness, don't tell me I actually started using 2. That's so funny. Okay, well. Well. This is the one I like more, so fill it all in. Find another use for this one. Okay. I might then use this with the sand. Because I wanted that. Oh, oh no. Oh dear. Okay. So which one do I like more? What's the truth? Mysterious music playing as I try and discover what the truth is. Oh, no, the other one is the better one. Well, that's more complicated than I wanted it to be. But fear not. This color can still be used over here. Because there's like a little sort of... Hello, Allie. How are you today? I'm gonna make this follow exactly what I've done up here. And I'm gonna make it... Do I like that? Is that good? Is that what we're calling good? Is that what the kids call swag? Okay. Add a few little details there. Add a few details close to the there. Yeah, it's been a good week over here. No, it's not that textured. I'm losing the smooth sensation of wet sand. Sometimes the texture is good and sometimes it isn't. But is this too dark to put over here? Yes, much, much, much too dark. Okay, that's all right. Maybe I'll just pop it in at the corners like that. Sort of smooth them out. Maybe put a little bit down over here. Unless, do we even need this? Let's find out. I like it. I'd keep it. But I might be able to, instead of doing the corners like I've done this way, I might do them by putting a taste of the corner every once in a while. That's not really going to work for this one. So putting that lighter pixel, that blending pixel sort of in the corner between two dark pixels, smoothed out a bit. Whereas what I've done here is breaking up the line at the corners, which is sometimes a helpful technique to use at like the water's edge of something, because you want that line to look a little malleable. I want to do another 2 pixels, and then I want to put one right between. Yeah. Yes, that's the big news that we have this week, is my partner has their top surgery scheduled, which is so exciting. Literally a thing that we've just been like It's been a pipe dream for like years. I couldn't be more excited for them. Trans Yoshi? Wait, give it up? Real shit? Oh my god, it's Trans Yoshi! I love you. I love you. Okay, I zoomed in on Trans Yoshi. I got distracted. Okay, where was I? Just like them, for real. Okay. I want to make sure my phone, I can see it, but it doesn't keep tapping against the computer, because that's probably not great for everyone else. Okay. Woof. Okay. Do we want a few, like, lighter touches on the horizon? Oh, yeah, that looks nice. Again, breaking up the horizon a bit. The capricious whims of nature. Now I am just going in with the sort of colors I have. Oh, I still have 2 colors left, though. With 2 colors left, I could probably make this sky gradient a little nicer. Nicer for me personally. Oh. No, that's not better. That's worse. Also, if you have 2 colors too similar to each other, sometimes the algorithm will give up on them. You'll get harsh squares instead of dots. It's fascinating. And bad. I can't tell if that's what's happening here, because my eyes are not good enough. It looks like it's trying to become more square than circle. No, that's not what I wanted to press. Excuse me. Excuse me, I'm putting it on the wall. Canvas. Go into edit. Get it at eye level, please. So when I go in with the camera, it is zoomed right in on it. Let's have a look. Ooh. You can see that they're kind of like on the right side, it's like a straight line. Like it's creating semicircles. Which isn't best. Really pleased with this little cloud over here, though. You can see how that 1 pixel got, like, cut in half, because there's something on sort of the top corner and something on the bottom corner of it. Really fun ways that the algorithm messes with stuff. Whoop. And of course, if you want to be doing a painting of your own, you do not have to start with a subject that is this chaotic. I can't remember what the ones I did on my other account were. It's gonna be, you can have a look if you have your game and you actually want to check out where on the stream it says old next to an artist code. That'll be the one from Etude. I can't stream from that one because it's on a Switch Lite. Which is the only reason I'm not using it. But I did a lot of paintings on that account back in 2020. And I really liked them, and I feel like the first one I did was a cottage, actually, with a bunch of flowers in front of it. Doing something architectural like that is really nice because it has very clear, this side of the building is lighter than that side of the building, and it doesn't change much, you know. That side of the building is one color. A bit different from what I'm doing here, where it's just like, well, that's the ocean. Draw it. Make it. Do it. I'm gonna see if I can squeeze a bit of like a brighter green in here, because I have an extra color to work with. Oh, that's nice. Let's see. Can I get it to pop a little more? Oh, I don't know if I want it to be that bright, but I do like it. Let's try it with the bright. Let's go big or go home, or whatever people say. Go large or go to bed. That's what they say. You can see that the green has made like a very thin line going down diagonally. That's nice. So what I'm going to try and do here is sort of put the green in this corner of the wave, because I feel like that's where we're seeing like the bounce of the light. And then I'm going to put some darker green in amidst it and just sort of look at the canvas and hope I do good. Now this seems too dark. Also, I believe my playlist has just stopped. Please continue. It left my playlist. It abandoned my playlist 1 hour and 12 minutes ago, and I did not notice. Why did it do that? That's certainly not polite. Please go back to my stream playlist. I told you to play all. You certainly did not do that. Yes, we know. Mario 64. Well, we just heard that one. Oh. I can't tell what it wants. I'll never understand YouTube. Okay, this is a good song. It gets to 2 hours into a stream and I just start giving up on the YouTube shuffle. Oh, it's been a long one so far. Okay. The question now really is, what colors am I gonna need? Okay, I'm gonna risk it all, and I'm gonna say I want this color, this last color, to be an even more in-between dark blue for the ocean. Now let's pop that in here and see what we've got. It is identical. But that's not too bad. That means I have wiggle room. Yeah, I like how that looks on the canvas better. It's not much different. Ooh, but it may be a bit too similar to the other one. Let's see, what if I do that? How does this compare to that? Huh. Is it the same? No, it's not the same. Hold on. Okay, so let's put that down. That might do. A really bright blue. Unexpected contender. How does it look when I put it next to all this stuff? No, it takes something out. So does this being that bright, to be honest. Let's make that darker. Let's make this something Okay. Nope, that's not what I want there. Now, none of those are connecting up the way I would like them to. Can I change this until they do? Ooh, what happened there? Woohoo! Hi, Freya. Freya, my cat is here. Freya moment. That's a bit better. I'm purely editing colors based on what looks good on the canvas to me. Hi, Simon. How are you today? I like this really dark bit of shadow that's kind of going along there. There's also one sort of along here. We have that contrasted with a bit of light. I want the next lightest color. I'm doing okay, yeah. This is... I was like, this one will be easy. Because I've done 2 beach paintings before, and they were like, I don't recall them being particularly difficult. This one is doing it to me. All of them are lately. Boo-hoo. Crying artist tears. Where do I want that green to be? Let's try like sort of transitioning out of these shadows a little bit nicer. Now I don't feel like the green is bright enough. Perhaps the blue is the color that I keep in here, and the green is the reward. Hello, Freya. What is it, my sweet girl? Are we about to have a Freya moment? She is sniffing the hand that is holding the Joy-Con at the moment. Hi, Freya. Are we having a Freya moment? Well, she's gone. Whether to cause mischief or mercy, I will never know. That was the softest sound in the entire world. What is wrong with my sound alerts? Why are they so quiet? That was the quietest noise I've ever heard. Congratulations. I don't know where my source for that is. I don't know how to change the volume on it, and the song that's playing right now is so loud. Oh, shut up. That is so funny. That's exactly what it is. Sam, can you confirm if Freya is on her chair?
Yes.
Thank you. I'm lying in the most heinous position on the floor, and I can't move. I'm stuck here. I live here now. I say about being in my house. Now, can I put this green in just boop? Now it's 2. Oop, oop. Oop. Let's try making the green dark again. Okay. Now I've decided that's better. Thank goodness I was savvy enough to say at the very beginning of all this, you're gonna hear me go back and forth on a lot of things. No. Nice dark blue. There? No. There? No. There. There is a lighter color. It's over here. Thank goodness we have a lighter color. There's actually a little like whoop over here. I don't know if I like that though. This is okay. I'm making my peace with a lot of things about this image. Do I want there to be a white pixel there? There? Here? Here? Maybe sort of a little U dip over here. Make it look like, no, that's nothing. It's nothing to me. Whew. So when it gets to this point, I don't know how to explain. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna sneeze. I sneezed. Oh, good music. It's very hard to explain my process from here. It's a lot of, I drop the colors you want and just start putting them in and literally check every single pixel if you like what's happening. I will say I'm using this really, really bright color that I only have in the sky for the bits of waves I see that are especially bright. And I may use less of it going into the background. I don't think I'll use it much like from here upwards for the ocean anyway, because of atmospheric perspective, which is a phenomenon in which all things that you can see going into the background become more white toned and more blue hued as they go into the distance, because that's what the layer of atmosphere, I suppose, that you have to look through in order to see things in the distance does to color. That'll change with different things. But as stuff goes into the distance, you'll generally see tone and hue change. Kind of like, if you think of like the fog they put in video games so that they can like obscure objects in the distance and let them sort of pop in. That works so well because of atmospheric perspective. It mimics real life closely enough that our brains are like, yeah, I can see why there would be a thick fog enshrouding everything. Now, is it a bit lighter under that? Yeah, I kind of like the idea that under this little triangle of shadow I've put here, there's more sea foam. And I'm just sort of trying to mix up my slightly, like right here you have this color and this color that are basically exactly the same. But it feels nice to have them next to each other, breaking. It helps kind of break up the line that you see with your eyes. Now I've put this down too far, so I can't have white there for the foam, which I want to fix. I don't like that. I want it to be foamy. I'm going to try and see if I can sort of create a gradient of this going out. Yeah, that's a bit better. Can I put just like a single dot there? Does that good? I do wish this color was a bit lighter, but I think if I do that, it won't look quite as nice. It's certainly harsher. It's definitely harder with the sky. I like it for the ocean. Well, that option's always available to us if I want to change it later. I'm gonna do just a lot of just putting pixels down for this foamy bit of ocean back here. Gonna break up this line a bit if I can. Well, that's too much. That's too broken. How's that? Also too broken. This is a line that does not want to be broken. It prefers staying as it is. I do not like how bright it is, though. Maybe I can... No. Can I? No. Maybe. Ho hum. Maybe I like this? Something about it is too even. Maybe that's what I like. And over here... Can I pop a little bit of bright blue in there? Maybe just a square of green? Do a little triangle there. Another triangle of green. Or do I want that to be a dark blue this time? Let's go dark blue. Ooh. Let's see if I can put some white pixels over the top of that, make it look like its own little wave cresting in. Pompey is nothing if not the most forgiving. Pompey thinks to himself, probably just looking at weather. Oh, Delta room music loud. I'm challenging myself to keep the volume up on this one, so I'm not constantly like, why is my volume so low? Because you put it low. Should I do this? Yeah, that's why I'm challenging myself with the volume, because every time I think it's too loud, I turn it down, and then I'm listening to the VOD, I'm like, why is it so quiet? What happened? And it's like, I happened. I did that. I run the stream. Oh, okay. I'm liking putting these single dots of white, especially close to here, down. To be like the foam is spilling over. Maybe put one there. Okay, that's not bad. I think I might put like 1 or 2 dots back here as well. Just 1 dot, actually. Maybe 1 here? 1 here. Yeah, I like it there. And put a little dot of shadow underneath it, or next to it. Pompey! Hi, Rose! Okay, and there's a little bit of depth in the... Oh, thank you! That's really good to hear, because I have no sense of what it looks like so far. I'm like, oh, why did this get so hard? What did I do? How did I make this happen to me? Okay, let's move this to the back a bit. Oh, I said I wouldn't use that one much. Okay. I see what this is gonna be. It's gonna be a lot of this sort of behavior. Back at it again. Lots of texture. Aw, thank you. That's really nice. This is 100% the I am making it up segment of the painting. Like, I just put a bunch of darker pixels in haphazardly. Okay, can that be broken up with these? How bright are these? Okay, okay, okay. Put like 1 or 2 bright ones. No, that looks... Gotta be careful that it doesn't blend in too much with what's going on the horizon either. No, that's too much. Okay, so this is just gonna have some dots of that. This is gonna have some dots of like, maybe there, there, there. It's actually quite a bit of very, very white over here, so I'm gonna try and get that in. Let's use this color. Lighten that one up. And then take a few really bright ones now. If I can find spots where I think that gets rid of the sense of ocean water a bit too much. Maybe I can use this color for a few dots. It's the same color as that one next to it though, so do like that. Let's see if I can take some of these just one color up. Put one on this side of it. No. And you can see with different colors of blue I'm using that this diagonal line gets stronger or weaker. Okay, now let's see where we can use this brightest color to best effect. It's definitely, whoa. Oh yeah, if anyone was curious, the transparent pixel is not a good idea to use, because I'm pretty sure when you hang it up as a canvas, it is actually, or it just depends on what you want to use it for. I'm not actually done, but I just kind of want to have a look at it closer up. Depending on what object you use to customize, it may show up as actually transparent. If I was a little more confident about which items that happens on versus which ones it doesn't, I might actually use it as just a free white color space sometimes, but I am not confident. So I work with only the 15. Huh. It looks a bit too speckledy to me, actually. Looks kind of patchwork, which isn't a incorrect definition of sort of what waves, choppy waves look like, but I'm gonna create a few spaces where I don't have that dithering going on, because I'm not sure that's what I want. Or maybe where I just have it sort of going on inside the wave, but not at the edges. Especially back here, I feel like something about it just isn't working. I must be using too many colors. Let's try and use mostly these colors at the front. Maybe flatten out this horizon line? That does seem to help. I'm trying to put in shapes that keep this from looking like, it looks like an LED light strip to me right now, and I'm not really sure what's going on with that. I don't want to put in that curve that far back though. Maybe if I use this color. Extend that. And maybe try and make sort of a gradient happening here. This is a good song, but it is not my vibe currently. This is much more my vibe. What if I just let the Toby Fox music roll for a bit and turned off shuffle? What if I treated myself to that? Okay, that looks less... There's an LED strip in my ocean. Dear Liza, to me. Down here, we've got this little thing, which I thought was cute. Might just keep that. It's a darker color. Maybe put a darker one under it. And then take that back. Might be more correct to make the dark side that one. No, that doesn't look better to me. I do like what I've done with that bright green. I wonder if putting that bright green, I wonder if I can put that green anywhere else. That would look good. Let's make this. Let's have the foam extend a little more. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. Maybe pop the green right in the middle there. Put a darker blue behind it. Or do I not like that? I prefer this. Maybe 2 pixels of dark blue there. Can I make it even darker? I can, but is that good? I'm gonna say if I balance it out with a little bit of these somewhat darker blues, it does balance out a bit. Try popping down some dark colors here. Kind of like that. Now up here, it looks far, far, far too even. But just doing that doesn't really fix it. There's a little V of ocean back here that I kind of want to capture the feeling of. And right just do that where it feels appropriate too. Not as much as I did before, but break up that horizon just a tiny bit. Yeah. Hi Ash, how are you today? Ah, that's too much again. Easy to happen. Yeah, apologies that I've stopped chatting quite as much. This is the part of the stream where I don't know what I'm doing. Which hopefully means it's getting close to the end. Ooh, I don't want to create too much wiggles back here. God, is anyone else old enough of using the internet to remember that video of the magic sponge woman talking about squiggles? That feels like it was ages ago. Oh, I kind of like that. That's one of those moments where you put something down and you just immediately go like, oh, I like that image better than I liked the other one. I like it when putting a single pixel down feels like that. Especially in Animals Cross. Saint Animals Crossing. Kind of like that one there as well. Right? Let's see what this color is doing. Like a whole lot of nothing, to be honest. I guess I like it how it is. I wish I had a bright white I could use to sort of show off like do some little highlights, but that just doesn't look right with the blue. It looks like the ocean is actually made of food dye. Not this color, but maybe that. Yeah, that one will do. No, that one. Yeah. The other one turned into a square. That's why I didn't like that. You might be able to see where that happened. Went from like a nice little diamond shape to like 2 squares. Yeah, feels that way every day of my life. Now I'm going crazy with the clouds because I can. But I'm also exhibiting restraint because I remember that earlier I was like, yeah, go crazy with the cloud there. And then I looked and I said, I do not like that actually. Okay, now we have like 3 colors with which to make some cloud gradients. Which I'll be honest is not my ideal number of I would really like to do a painting that's just like a really close-up study of some clouds sometime. Clouds are some of my favorite subjects in art. I've not done that many like sunset paintings in my life, but I grew up in Phoenix, Arizona, where those Sonoran desert sunsets are so beautiful. And my whole life I wanted to get good at drawing so I could paint sunsets specifically. And then I went on to like draw anime girls instead, so not really sure what happened to my plan. I grew up and I was like, women also beautiful though. Laid low by her lesbianism. Positive, affirming. Me between ages like 10 and 12 discovering Sailor Moon at Blockbuster for the first time. Being like, hold on. This Naoko Takeuchi one may be onto something. I think she knows the secrets. kind of want it to look like dithered, but I have 2 pixels in which to do that with, and it's not, algorithm doesn't like that for me. Let's see if we can use this. Can we use this color at all? Oh ho ho! Now there is one of the life hacks of the art. Color you used for sand can be used to help your gradients along. Oh yeah, this is way better. Oh, this is it. Feels good to discover it. Ooh, back hurts. Might have to sit up and take a little stretch break. I'll do another quick be right back. I'm just going to readjust myself once more so I can attend to my back apparently crying out in pain. It was just a twinge, but you gotta be careful of them twinges. When you get to my age, no, you should always be careful. If you get a twinge of pain somewhere while you're doing art or you're gaming or anything like that, pay attention to it, change what you're doing, stop, do some stretches, get up. Those twinges add up. I've known way too many people who've gotten repetitive stress injuries, and recovering from them is a nightmare. So when you feel a twinge, don't think, I'll just push through that. Get up, do some stretches, take care of yourself. I will be right back, because I'm going to do that for me. Okay, I am back. I got up, refilled my water. I'm still doing a few stretches. Oh, thank you. I will take a sip of water. Back in sort of professor mode. Another good reason to take breaks frequently when you're doing art for a long time is you can come back at it with new eyes. Really important to step away from your computer, think about something else for a while, because I find that if I'm just focused on the art, even if I get up and do other stuff, I come back and it looks the same to me. Fresh eyes on a piece can do wonders. Looking at it next to my reference on my overlay, I noticed that the waves got significantly lighter than I intended them to. I started using that lightest blue from the sky for like white ocean foam, and I think that was the right choice in terms of creating depth. Sometimes I do wonder if the pieces are a bit too complicated. Oh, I like that pixel there. I also noticed that the sand shades are not quite as dark as I maybe want them to be, so I'm going to experiment with darkening those up. Let's just take these all one thing darker, just one, because that's a lot in Animals Crossing. It does kind of interfere with the way I was doing the clouds. I also kind of wish, yeah, maybe that's a bit better. And up here I can just use this color instead of the darker one now, I think. Yeah. Yeah, that'll work okay. I do wonder. That's really funny. Looking over like, what happened? What happened over there? Oh, maybe I like that. I'm gonna look at it on the overlay. Lighter. Darker. Lighter. Darker. I'm having... One of the other problems I'm having, I'm gonna make it lighter. No. That one. I'm gonna make it this, and I'm gonna put it up on the wall, because the background brown of the pixel art is very similar to the color I'm using, and it's affecting how I see it. Oh no, is it a good pick-through though? Like, I do love a good pick-through. I would be tempted to make one. Well, no. Yeah. That's the thing, is like, I would be tempted to make one of my own back when they were like really big, except that you have to include so many options, which is good, but also it takes a lot of time, and I know my place. I'd rather not offer any than offer one that's really limited. If it's gonna be really limited, I may as well just draw a picture a few times. That's how I personally feel about how I would spend my time as an artist. Blue hair and pronouns? They better offer pronouns. Ah, it's snowing outside in my game. Yeah, I think that is a dark enough brown, actually. Like, all jokes aside, I have seen pit crews where, like, they sometimes put, like, badges on clothes that have pride flags, or I think I've seen, like, pronoun ones, mostly pride flags, which, you know, there is no pronoun assigned to flag. Yeah. I don't know if I've seen that many that have, like, an indication of what you would actually use as a pronoun. Okay. My neck's a bit stiff, but I don't think there's much left to do. Gotta get these clouds in. Oh wait, where's my reference? And by that I mean my phone. It's right there. Oh, I'm really glad! Thanks for hopping in. Yeah, this is an interesting... Oh, that's not right. Yeah, this is my first time trying to sort of, really explain in a followable way what I'm doing. Because like I've said a million times already in the stream, this is mostly me not knowing what I'm doing. Trying stuff out until I go, okay, that worked enough. This little section here that has, like, the sun peeking through is an interesting challenge. I might just put, like, a single peak of yellow coming through. Might extend this out so it looks like it's in the center. Maybe one coming down. Oh, I like that. That's a nice effect. Yeah, I really like that. Being a character designer is so hard. Yesterday, I really wanted to do art of my partner's most recent book that they're working on, but being unable to draw as I am currently, I just went nuts and made the characters in Animal Crossing. Which, let me tell you, Pit Crew's got so much on Animal Crossing when it comes to character design diversity. I was like, you can't even make these characters not smile. There were only 2 reactions I could use for one character that I wanted to, who always looks only has 1 skin tone option. See, even Animal Crossing has more than one. Well, I mean, very recently. I'm not about to go to bat for Animal Crossing's diversity. It's definitely done better, but that was starting from it wasn't always great in Animal Crossing. I won't be too negative about that, but... don't want to bring that negative energy in, but I do find it a little bit, haha, what the animals do. That's so funny. Thank you, Sam. In the older games, there were no skin tone options whatsoever. For the GameCube game that came out around 2000, I think? No. Later than that. No, it must have been, because I think Dobutsu no Mori originally came out on the Nintendo 64. Eve, you're so right. Good for Isabelle. Or not. It doesn't matter. Isabelle can be anything she wants forever. Sam's either writing a lot of book or a very heated opinion about Isabelle Animal Crossing, and I have no way of knowing what those keys clacking means until... Hi, Nightbot. Okay, I'm gonna be doing the clouds, basically. Yeah, the old Animal Crossing games did not offer any skin tone variation. The only variation that you could get in those games was based on the questions you answered on your way to the village at the introduction of the game, which I had to look up online every single time because there's no way of knowing what you're gonna get for your hairstyle or your face style, your eyes. So I always looked that up. And you could get darker skin in... I don't know if the first game had it, but I think in Wild World they definitely did. You could tan your character if they were outside without an umbrella for too long. Their skin would darken, and then it would clear up after you spent some time either under a parasol every time you were outside of the game, or... not turning on the game for a few days. Do you think that villager is trying to tell you something, Sam? It does make you think. Sort of trying to shade this cloud such that the pink sections are towards where the sun is. And why he? Sorry, responding to chat. I listen to a lot of streams, not watching them while usually at night, because I have to use eye ointment, which means I can't look at anything while I'm trying to fall asleep, and I don't fall asleep particularly easily. So when I hear streamers just suddenly shout out responses to chat, sometimes I'm like, what happened? Yeah. Everyone in chat is saying, for the listeners at home, and he's purple, it makes you think. I'm thinking about it. Orple. And why? Purple. So that was my dramatic reading of chat. Would that be a good... Would that be a good channel point incentive? Oh my god, I didn't hear Oh. I have to play it again. I miss him. Oh, I heard him. Oh. Would it be a good channel point incentive for me to dramatically read what's been going on in chat recently? Or is that the worst idea streamers come up with in your personal... And why he Urple? Sam doesn't know about my cool channel point incentive. Sam will be the last to know. Oh. Yeah. They took the bait. This is giving a she should be at the club vibe to Deltarune Chapter 2 OST 03 My Castle Town that I'm really liking. Everybody wishes they were, in the same room as me, sitting on the floor. I am hunching forward a little bit, which is illegal for my neck, so I will take a quick break. Put my Joy-Cons down, roll my shoulders a bit. If you can hear something that sounds like many, many marbles, I apologize. That is my shoulders. They are not well. Okay. Tune into my future streams to see if my shoulders ever stop sounding like that. Oh no! I'm so sorry that your stream delay got bad. I feel like it is quite intense sometimes. It may be my settings. I don't know about computers. I'm really hesitant to, like, make these clouds less or more pink over here, even though that's what they are. I have to change my feed to... There we are. His theme? Similar to Undertale. Spam. Eve, do you think this is Spamton's theme? Not to put you on blast, which I very much just did, and I do apologize for, but... Unless there's a leitmotif in here that I have just been blissfully unaware of. World just... Now I'm doubting everything I know. Oh, okay. I could play Spamton's theme on the stream. She's a bit silly with it, though. Okay. I wouldn't play Big Shot for what it's worth. Big Shot would be a little bit too much for even me. Known Big Shot enjoyer. I think that's okay. I think that's okay for the pink gradient. Cause there's the one Deltarune theme that's a little bit cool. Let me look it up. Pause. I'm looking it up. And then we're gonna listen to probably Quest 64 again. That's what I always go to wind down in a stream, isn't it? Okay, let's open that here. And then I know what I'm doing. Yeah, this one. This one's all right. But then he does say Big Shot. I'll apply it to the end. Sam obliterates. Oh, I see. It's curry time. Yeah, it's curry time. I'll post Pompier for that. Oh no, it's gonna start playing. If I'm not careful. It did start playing Christmas Pain in Christmas Town. I do want everyone to know that. We're listening to Quest 64 instead, though. Curry time. Woke up Christmas morning. It is good, is the thing. Christmas Pain in Christmas Town. This cloud is so dark. But that's too dark. I may have to try and make it lighter around this? Yeah, that's, I think, has to be my plan. Yeah, that's... You don't want to do this sort of thing, because it kind of looks like it's a cup holding the cloud instead of a shadow of the cloud, of the Colossus. Had to just get that in there before my mind realized I was speaking. That's a little more shadowing. That famous language learning technique. That's so sad. I swear I've done pit crews that have... Well, there's a lot of pit crews out there, aren't there? Maybe this color? No. No, no, no. Joker pit crews. The shadow is very weird because I want it to go like all the... Maybe it should just be a dark cloud. Maybe... Oh, I should start playing dark cloud music. I got excited. No. There's kind of no way to make this do what I want, is there? That's okay. That'll do. That's tolerable, acceptable, amenable. Thank you, Nightbot, for saying hello to Pompey. Is this? That's what I thought. For some reason, when my playlist, when I start playing songs from the end of it, it won't automatically go to the next song. It has the whole playlist open, but it's like, I'm sorry, 335 songs is simply too many. Which would be fine, except it's literally U2. I don't think I like how this shading's coming out on these clouds. I just heard my cat snore. I wish I could put a little spot of a cloud over here, but unfortunately, there's not enough space for that. kind of like that shape, yeah. Let's give it a little bit of pink on the outside. Is that good? No. No, it's not. In fact, I don't even like that. Ooh, scary. Transparency jump scare. Maybe I put a pink pixel there. That kind of works. Ooh, what if I put no? Kinda? That kinda does what I wanted. Okay, I don't mind that. Now we just need a few. I wanna... Okay, we gotta deal with this now. It's been long enough I've been putting it off. We gotta figure out the sky. And what I'm actually gonna do, I feel like I've done dithering that I really like in old, back in 2020 when I did these. So I'm gonna see if I can find one of those. And just pray that the answer wasn't, I just had colors that worked better together. Yeah, see, I liked that. Okay. Some of these do just have a lot of zigzags, actually. I thought I had avoided those entirely, but no, there's just zigzags and I just wanted it more. Sometimes you just want it more. Let's see if I can make this work. Okay, bunch of zigzags there. Yes, okay. And there. Maybe I can get rid of some of those. What happens if I get rid of all of them? I see. I do not have the pro tips when it comes to doing dithering in Animal Crossing, unfortunately. I certainly wish I did. Okay, that's interesting. So I might actually... This sunflowers one has a lot going on. There's a lot more colors than I have to work with. Just kind of make some shapes up. I think that's okay. Ooh. Maybe I do want to sew a little chaos in here. As you can see, I am literally just replacing one pixel at a time and seeing if I like the result. And then I'm gonna put some pixels throughout to give the sense that it's going a bit more. Yeah, I kind of like that. Do I want to make that a little bit more? Yeah. I'll put that back. I think it looks a little better. Creating some unevenness kind of helps break it up in a way that maybe looks like, you know, the sky is doing some cloud things rather than just you're creating a flat pattern on a flat surface. And if I recall, actually, there were some... Yeah, this reference has some, like, sort of diagonal up sorts of sky events happening. I don't know how else to phrase that. Events are happening in the sky. You can know about them, but watch out. So if I just indicate that a little bit here, that might help. Everything move along a bit more smoothly. Let's get rid of that. Make this go out a little more. It goes too far. Yeah, I like that. And let's do another one of those, because I think there's like two right next to each other in the reference. So if I do another one that's like here, maybe that would be nice. If I do that, yeah, those join up. That looks a bit bulky. So let's smooth it out as much as possible and then dither around it. That almost worked. Hello, Shaka. How are you today? I'm nearly wrapped up here. This is another member of the Animal Crossing community who's done some really, really cool islands. I believe that's the same as your Instagram name. I don't know if the Instagram Animal Crossing community can be found anywhere else. Oh, let me, Oh, thank you! I'm just gonna, drop Heart's information again. Because this is gonna be a tutorial for, their Discord server. Which I've seen Shaka in a lot. So far, the only one who's done most of the homework. Yeah, this painting, I'm gonna post it as a tutorial, a text tutorial. Yeah, like, as I was saying before, I joined a server because I saw her stuff. Sorry, I have a text message and I'm confused by it. I don't get text messages. Oh, it's my phone bill. Cool. Heart does some really cool islands and really cool custom codes. A lot of really nice graphic ones. One of my favorites being this like really spooky red shuttered window that just looks incredible anywhere you put it. It's like shocking to me that I thought it was... There's another one that has like some bottles on like a red backlit thing, and I genuinely thought it was like furniture that I'd never seen before, which is pretty impressive. And Shaka's stuff has all been really cool too. The one that I saw recently being Scary Tales, which I saw going up like right before Halloween, and just really cute. Yeah, the windows in Nook Noir. They're so good, right? But yeah, Shaka AC's Scary Tales has like really cool video editing along with the like just good island build and stuff. It was really, really impressive. I was like, I didn't know you could use Animal Crossing for horror. But also very like lighthearted at the same time in some cases. I saw your winter challenge one today. That was very cute. Yeah, I was really shocked to find out there's such a bustling Animal Crossing community out there. Oh, nice. Yeah, the Nook Noir videos are really, really good. Did I want that little bit of blue there? I think I might have actually wanted that. Why did I go over it? Like, it's just fun. Like, it's like playing with dolls, but really, really, really advanced. I'm really just so impressed by what people are able to do with this game. So many things I'd never considered. Oh, thank you! Yeah, I mostly just do these because I find them fun. Yes, dolls and Lego, exactly! Yeah, isn't the stuff really good? I think I'm happy with the sky now. I think it has just enough texture that... well, comparing the bottom to the side, maybe I want to do this. I know, it's so cool. And I've learned so many like building tips from like I've seen Japanese creators on YouTube that I've taken tips from. It's just so cool. There's like creators from anywhere you can imagine. I think I'll get rid of this one up here. Definitely needs something up here, but maybe just like 1 or 2 pixels will be enough. Yeah, honestly. Like, it was so fun to find out that like people would enjoy the thing I do, which is paint little pictures. Like, when I first got New Horizons, I wanted to make a lot of pro designs with the clothes. But then I was like, what if I made a painting? And I've just been hooked. Even when I stopped playing Animal Crossing, every once in a while I'd turn to Sam and be like, hey, what if I just opened Animal Crossing and did more paintings? Yes, I'm so excited for the Lego Animal Crossing sets. I'll get to watch Sam make them, and that makes me really happy. Let's put some wispy cloud bits. What if I put a wispy cloud bit back here? Oh, I'd have to add more than one, I think. I think I'd have to put another one maybe down here. Oh, no, it definitely has to be side by side. That's nice. I like those just little... a few hints of cloud. Of clouds. Of cloud strife. Okay, now a few darker ones. And then I think this is on its way out the door. Let's make that one a nice longer one. With a space and another bit. This might be it? The sky was way more fun for me than the ocean, I've gotta say. Let's put this in another room and have a close look at it. Oh wait, I haven't done this even once today. Let's look at this. I've got to redo my house though, because my house looks bad. Oh, the light on it is so bright, you can't see anything. That's okay. You rest. You rest easy, friend. Okay, curtains are drawn in here. Oh, let's see if I'm close enough to the wall for it to do it. Yes! Oh, it's so bright. Oof. Oh, that is so bright. Oh, I need to move it away from the light a bit. Before I started doing these, I was like, Animal Crossing I think is good that it's hit its peak, and now I'm like, no, they need to make the lighting more natural, and they need to make different sound effects for patterns that you put on the floor so that you can get those good sound design bits. Oh! That's great. I'm gonna check that out after the stream then. Okay, let's have a look. Do I like it? Let me put my reference. You know what? I'm quite pleased with that. Oh, I wish that wave was a little bit longer. Is it worth... Should I risk it all? I can always just say no to all the changes. Ooh, you gotta look at my inventory. And all my, clothes tickets that I got from Treasure Islands, because I was like, I just want to spend money on upgrading my storage. Oh, do I risk it all? I kind of like that. I added 1 pixel different, and I'm like, I like that. Yeah. I wanted to change 1 pixel. Aww. Oh, is that better? Undo. Look at my reference. Redo. I'm gonna say no to that particular pixel. Well, it's exciting having so many, like, Animal Crossing people in. I get a lot of pixel art people since I stream under the art category, but it's really fun having Animal Crossing people in, because you might be able to tell from my house, I'm not really big on, like, I like making things in Happy Home Designer. I don't do island design. I don't have a knack for it. I don't get it. I mean, I like it, but I can't figure it out. Like, I go to put stuff on the floor outside and I'm like, I don't know what you mean. So I really like seeing people who do something that's so different from my skill set. And even other, like, Heart's custom designs, being just more graphic than painterly is, again, like, so different from what I do. Well, I don't want to wear that as face paint. What am I doing? I'm getting sleepy is what I'm doing. Okay. I think that's it. So I hope that my teaching was good enough despite going a bit quiet towards the end. See, I can't design anything in real life or in Animal. Well, the custom designs I can do. The island design stuff, like, I can't even hang up pictures that I've drawn in my house. I don't know how. But I like doing it in the game. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope I will make this a little bit more, I'll cut it down, make it streamlined in text form for Heart's server. Again, I'm just gonna drop that in case anyone's curious to check it out. I don't know any other way to get into the server except through Instagram. So that might be, I can always hash it out with her later. If anyone is deeply interested. But it seems like most of the people who play Animal Crossing who are here probably already know her. So I'll be posting this as a little tutorial, and I posted a request to for her for advice on how to do like script, because I think it would be really cute to do something that has like, I don't know, like a happy holidays type thing. That might be fun. Here you go, my usual end of stream bit, my wrap up as I call it. My other thing I like doing in Animal Crossing is dressing up to match my paintings. Okay, let's put it up here. Display here, canvas. Hello, Freya. Hi, Freya. Okay. Aw, thank you. Okay, let's move this. I'll move this to... let's get rid of this one, my oldest one. Goodbye. Put that there. That's my most recent one. And here's my current one. Oh, the little bunny here is to represent Pompey. Pompey is my little stream pet. He looks up and blinks when you say his name. That's all he does so far. I'm gonna work on him more later. Whoa, girl. There we go. Oh, thank you so much, Shaka. You're flattering me way too much for one stream. I'm running out of thank yous. Ah, I'm really, really flattered because I really like your stuff as well. And yeah, it's really cool. Like, it was really cool of heart to reach out to me for this because it's fun to feel appreciated for my little thing I'm doing. It's just playing a game, but it's also really fun, and it's really cool to share that creativity with other people. So yeah, I do these streams. I try to do them once a week. I do have health problems that make it a bit difficult for me sometimes, so I'm not always able to do it consistently. But I try. My next painting is going to be a winter themed one for December. Let me pull it up for y'all so you can have a little look. This will be my next one. Nice snow, sort of pink and orange tinged snowy trees. I'm looking forward to it. Cold weather makes me look forward to it. So that'll be my next one. Oh, got a follower action. Flash Harold, thank you for the follow. I really appreciate that. Oh, my music went off. Put this back on so I can... There we go. Get my reference back up. Ah, thanks for tuning in. I'm just wrapping up right now. I really like the emoji though. Wait, I have to zoom in on it. Oh, it's a cute little red panda. Oh, that's so cute. Yeah, I'm in the UK, so unfortunately it's getting, it's becoming bedtime for me. Not bedtime, dinner time, and then bedtime. I go to sleep quite early, so bedtime comes quite soon after after dinner time. But yeah, I stream these. I try to do them from about I try to aim for about 1 p.m., but sometimes I end up with more like 2 or 3 p.m. GMT. Sorry for the background noise. My partner got to make dinner and I have to be right next to the kitchen. Yeah, so I try to stream these somewhat regularly. I always post the VODs up to... Oh, let me just drop my socials. My YouTube isn't there. My YouTube is also... It is good to have other people in Europe, isn't it? My YouTube is also Lace and Silk. It should be linked somewhere. And if not, I'll fix that. I always post the full VODs, but I try to give them a channel or chapter breaks so that if there are any large breaks, you can skip past them easily enough. I also do Happy Home Paradise. I do those streams off mic because it's a little bit easier for my health reasons. It's easier on my body to not be chatting the whole time. And I do houses that I make to show off the painting specifically. So the houses are always based off of whatever painting I'm doing, never what the villager requests. Which is very funny because I always have to make a 2-story house, and on the 2nd story I put all their stuff. So yeah, I also put those videos on YouTube. Thank you, Rose! And unfortunately, I can't stick to a solid stream schedule because I'm pretty busy. I have a few chronic illnesses that take up a lot of time in my day. I have health problems that keep me from doing the art that I usually do. If you look at my art blog up there that I linked, that shows you the sort of stuff I usually do. But even when I get my health back and I'm back to streaming art, I'm probably going to try and keep up these Animal Crossing streams just because, like, I like the community. I enjoy having a little bit of fun playing a video game. And I think I should probably, I tend to work myself pretty hard. So I think if I work playing a video game into my usual schedule, it'll help me chill out a little bit. But yeah, my next one is going to be that snowy painting. Then I'm going to do one that's themed off of blue and one that's themed off of violet because I was doing a rainbow series. And when that's done, I'm going to finish up my fruit series, which is a bunch of still lives. You can see the pears behind me there, based on the native fruits in Animal Crossing. So I have a lot of paintings on the just ready to go at all times. My Patreon, which I think is linked there as well, yes, is shared by myself and my partner. My partner writes fantasy novels, and I draw the covers for those novels, which is fun. I'm in the middle of working on one when I got sick most recently. Hold on one second. Sorry about that. Cat issue. Okay. I want to show the cover I'm working on currently, but I don't know where it is on my computer. Hold on. I'm gonna show off my most recent art that I was doing before my neck got busted and I had to stop. There it is. Where is it? Any second now. Any second now. It didn't do it. I'm gonna have to look the hard way. Oh, there's so many Animal Crossing pictures. There's so much Animal Crossing. Yeah. This is so strange. It didn't send correctly. Please, send properly. I can't get it to show up. Options, show in Finder. This wrap-up is taking a very long time now. Sorry about my stream looking bad suddenly. I don't think it's working. I can't get it onto my computer. I'll try one more time. Yeah. I've never had this problem before, so that's cool. Okay. Okay, let's try this. There it is. Okay. This is my work in progress for my partner's next book's cover. The book is called Black Snake. You can find more about their books there. They also just recently started up a Substack. I don't have a command for that, but you can just look up Farron Books on Substack. Or Sam, you can link it yourself. So that's the stuff I usually do. A bit different from this. I do all sorts though. I've actually done, I did find something that I did want to share, which is I have been an Animal Crossing fan since the GameCube game, and every time Sam comes out with a book, I swear I have to draw the main characters as Animal Crossing characters. And I just saw one as I was trying to find the right thing here. Here we are. This is for a different book. Those are the three main characters of Sam's book Bitfrost that you can see at the website under farronbooks.webflow.io. So I've been a big Animal Crossing fan for a long time. I'm always drawing little animal creatures, so this game has a real soft spot for me. So even when I move back to illustration, you're never going to see me stray that far from Animal Crossing. And until then, I have this to keep me in practice. Whoa. Keep me in practice doing landscapes. Okay, that was a much longer wrap-up than I usually do. But thank you. Thank you all for showing up. Thank you all for hanging out. It makes it really fun. I will get the YouTube video out as soon as I can. And if you're able to come to another one, I'd appreciate that. If you prefer to stay on YouTube, if that's better for your time zone, feel free to leave comments. I always comment right back. It's really, really fun for me. I actually found out someone else was following along every time I did a painting and posted it, and gives all the paintings to one villager who does who's the artist of the island. And I just think that's so, so, so cute. I'm obsessed with that. So if you want to do that with mine, please do. Aw, thank you, Shaka. Okay, I hope everyone has a good rest of your day. I've got to go get ready to eat dinner. But yes, thank you. I really appreciated all the company. Hope you have a good rest of your day, evening, wherever you are. And goodbye.